What's up, Mod Squad? MOB back with another Division 2 video. Before we get into today's video, I want to announce that I have finally enabled my join button. This means for those of you who want to support the channel that little bit more, you can join and become members. You will have the access to badges and perks others don't. Becoming a member is another great way to support the channel, and it's going to help me improve on the channel's quality. If you guys are interested in being a member, then click the join button down below to check out the available perks. I believe the first tier is only $1. Thank you to those of you who choose to join. With that said, welcome to another Division 2 build breakdown video. In today's video, I bring you a very viable SMG PVE build, thanks to some changes to System Corruption's gear set and some new talents added in TU10. We now have a SMG build that puts out enough damage to melt through heroic NPCs and also has great survivability so we can get up close and personal without getting shredded. This build is all about synergy, and synergy it has a lot of. Starting off with the specialization we're using, which is the gunner. The main reason we are using a gunner is because we gain 10% armor on kill, which goes nicely with the 15% armor on kill that we get from System Corruption's 2-piece, giving us a total of 25% armor on kill. Having armor on kill is what is going to allow us to run a train on NPCs. The gunner specialization also comes with some pretty nice perks, like 5% rate of fire increase after a kill, and you can generate 10% of total ammo capacity every 60 seconds, so if you choose to use this to do some dark zone PvP, you will never run out of ammo. This build is also amazing for speed farming the dark zone. Another good perk from the gunner, which is also great for PvP, is that you gain access to the Banshee Pulse, which confuses enemies and messes with their aim and movement. So with the specialization out of the way, I want to talk about the two new talents we are using and how they synergize with our build. First up, we have our chest piece talent, Intermediate. While you have bonus armor, amplifies total weapon damage by 35% to enemies within 10 meters. This build requires you to be up close, so being within that 10 meters to gain that damage will not be a problem. That 35% is also amplified, which I believe means it's multiplicative damage. That means you do a bit more damage than if it was just flat 35%. Intermediate also isn't the only way we gain damage. System Corruption's 4-piece is it increases total weapon damage by 1% per 5% bonus armor gained, up to 20%. So we need that bonus armor in order to be able to have all this damage. That's where our gear set talent and second talent come in. System Corruption's 4-piece replaces armor kits with an instant infinite use ability on a 20-second cooldown that repairs and grants 50% bonus armor. The more bonus armor we have, the higher our damage will be. The second way we gain bonus armor is from our backpack talent, Adrenaline Rush. Whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times and has a cooldown of 5 seconds. That's 60% bonus armor from Adrenaline and a further 50% from System Corruption's armor kits if you choose to use them. That's a total of 110% bonus armor on top of our 1.3 million, making us pretty tanky. Again, all that bonus armor helps us gain 35% amplified damage from Intermediate, but that 35% isn't the only damage we get from this build. We're currently at 60% crit chance, 91% crit damage, and we gain extra damage from talents on our weapons. Our primary weapon is the Lady Death, which synergizes amazingly with this build. The build requires a run and gun playstyle, so why wouldn't you run a weapon which requires the same type of playstyle? The Lady Death talent says, when moving gain 4 stacks per second, or 8 stacks when sprinting, up to 32 stacks total. Each round fire consumes a stack, amplifying damage by 75%, so we gain amplified damage from both Intermediate and Lady Death's Breathe Free talent. As you can see, this build is full of synergy, has great survivability and puts out great damage. And for a gear set that was made for PvP, it works amazing in PvE. Now I've gone over this build synergy, let's look over each piece of the build before I leave you guys with some gameplay. So before we get into the breakdown, I just want to explain why I have 2 pieces of Badger Tough, because I know a lot of you are going to see that I'm using the SMG majority of the time, so I can see people in the comment section going, why don't you run 1 piece of Gilligard, 1 piece of Sokolov, which yes you can do, 100% you can do, but I use this not only for a PvE build but a PvP build, and the reason I spec'd into Badger Tough instead of more SMG damage is because shotguns are very effective against the Bulwark build. Anything super tanky, you want to go for shotgun because it does the biggest amount of burst damage. So just trust me on that, guys. If you're using it for PvP, spec into the shotgun a little bit more. It's better to shred through those tanky builds. So that is why I'm using Badger's Tough. With that said, let's get into the breakdown, starting off with my primary weapon when I'm PvPing. That is the Tactical Super 90. So we have 835.6k base damage. As you can see, it's not max damage. The talent we are running is Optimist. I will say, when it comes to attributes, definitely make sure that you have damage to targets out of cover. That's multiplicative damage, and it's just great to have. It's probably best in slot. When it comes to the attachments, we have crit chance on the scope, we have crit chance on the laser pointer, and we have the extra 5% rate of fire. It's a really nice shotgun, and you can pretty much spam it. Moving on to our secondary, of course, is our exotic Lady Death. I have a pretty nice roll. I could go to the crafting table and get a better one, which I most likely will do. As you can see there's the Breathe Free talent. If you guys want to pause the video to go over that, feel free. I'll show you the attachments. So we have 10% critical hit chance from the scope. We have 5% critical hit damage from the muzzle. We gain 500% melee damage, which I've honestly never used. I don't even think about it. I should probably do it just for a bit of trolling. And then for the magazine, we have 10% reload speed. And that's pretty much it when it comes to the weapons. So moving on to our gear pieces now. We have the mask, the system corruption mask. As you can see, the 2-piece gives us 50% armor on kill. 3-piece is 40% disrupt and 40% pulse resistance. And you usually gain, I believe it's 50% pulse resistance from the specializations that you choose as well. The 4-piece Hackstep Protocol replaces armor kits within an instant infinite use ability on a 20-second cooldown that repairs 20% armor, grants 50% armor, bonus armor, and hides your nameplate for 5 seconds. Increases total weapon damage by 1% per 5% bonus armor gained up to 20%. So we have 15% weapon damage, 6% crit chance, and a mod giving us 11.5% critical hit damage. Moving on to the Badger's Tough chest piece, we have it rolled for armor as the main attribute, nearly 140k. We have 5% critical hit chance. Sadly, we have hazard protection. I'd like to go for critical hit damage there instead. Then we have a mod giving us 11.3% critical hit damage. And we have intermediate, of course. While you have bonus armor, amplifies total weapon damage by 35% to enemies within 10 meters. Moving on to the holster. And we have weapon damage and critical hit chance. Now if you're speccing into the SMG over the shotgun, you want to go for critical hit chance because it's easier to hit the crit chance cap. So you'd have a higher crit damage still being at 60% crit chance. But I'm trying to keep a decent amount of crit chance on my shotgun. So moving on to the backpack, Badger's Tough backpack, main core attribute is the armor. We have 10.1% critical hit damage, 4.1% critical hit chance, 11.5% critical hit damage via mod, and then we have adrenaline rush. Whenever you are within 10 meters of an enemy, gain 20% bonus armor for 5 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. Moving on to our gloves, and they are rolled with weapon damage and crit chance. And then finally, our knee pads. And these are rolled with armor and 12% critical hit damage. So there you go, a quick breakdown of each piece of the build. When it comes to the skills, of course I'm using the Crusader shield, anything that helps us be a little bit more tanky. The fact that we have 3 blues gives us a tier 3 shield as well, so it gets up to near enough, well, 2.7 million health, which isn't too bad. And on top of that, we have the Defender drone as well. I'll just go over the mods on that. So 7.2% deflector duration. We have 9.2% health. We have damage reduction on there for the mod. And that's it when it comes to the skills. I will leave you guys with the stat sheets. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you like this build. Try it out. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Don't forget to smash that like button to help support the video and support the channel. If you're new, subscribe for lots more Division 2 content. And I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out, Mob Squad.
need you to secure the memorial and remove the True Sons' forces. If they maintain this outpost, the True Sons will be a direct threat to the campus.
You're not going anywhere.
Right now! That's a good spot for a turret.
Got a visual on additional hostiles in the memorial.
Search the area!
This'll make them...
You are so fucked!
Over here! Now!
He's too close!
Be the target!
No! Don't give up, Nathan!
All right, I'll take a...
Want this? He's down!
They're moving on the flank! Let them roll back! They're right here!
Serious trauma detected. Immediate medical assistance needed.
All clear. I repeat.
Enemy drone over there.
Target has to die.
I see you, Agent.
Back the fuck off!
It's over, asshole.
Let's go.
Shout it out!
Damn it. The true sense of truth.
We've got a drone in the air.
Come on, hold it back!
Right on top of me.
Covering up, Zelda!
You're not going anywhere.
That should keep them from being able to transport those boarders loaded with DC-62.
Get off me.
Enemy contact! Got me. Stay right there. Flanking! Great spot for a turret. Take that! What the fuck? Cover! Yes, you are. Let's get a turret up. Fuck! Hold up still! I knew it! Just give up, asshole! Just put them back! They're almost on me! Should have stayed away! Let's go! Who made you crazy? You're going down! Hey, give me the fuck out! Watch your fire! Damn it! No! Let me show you! That Asian's not getting out alive! Can't get the vision! 100 RP.
Good work. Go on and head back up. The team from the campus has taken position inside the memorial.